Pittman. How has this week of practice been for y'all? And how do you feel like the guys are responding, halfway through the season? Stuff is about to get especially tough.
Well, I think the guys are doing well. I think they're in the right place mentally. Certainly, this week was a little bit different, Nikki, because of the days. Because of election day on Tuesday, and we're certainly we encouraged everybody to go vote. Of course, all of them were registered to vote, and but Sunday night was it was a long day. We got back at 2:30. Had the evening practice and then Monday and then Tuesday off. It started a little sluggish, to be honest with you, on yesterday's practice, and then it really was good the last 2/3 of practice. So I think they've had a good week, and I think they're in a good mindset.
Trey Biddy.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? I had a question for you about this offensive line that you guys are facing. There's 4 guys that were 5-star recruits, and you've got a lot of familiarity with Cade Mays also. I was wondering if you can just let us know what you think about that bunch.
Well, they're a good bunch. I mean, those guys at Tennessee have done a really nice job of recruiting all positions, but especially on the offensive line. I know there's 2 or 3 of those guys that I certainly was going hard after at Georgia, and Tennessee ended up winning that recruiting battle. But I think they're nasty. They're big, strong. I think the leader of that group is certainly Trey Smith, the guy that I tried to recruit as well. But they're very physical, and they're very good double team guys. They can double team you and move you, and they've got Jim Chaney written all over them. I mean, they do, and so it's going to be a slobber knocker. I mean, that's what it's going to be on Saturday, and we'll certainly be ready for that as well.
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, I'm wondering what it's been like for you this year watching Treylon Burks, kind of blossom firsthand.
It's been awesome. I mean, first of all, he's a great kid. A great kid. And, I think he's one of the best players in the SEC. I think he's a really good football player. And to see some of the things he does, I mean, he's an athlete. He can throw, he can catch, he can run, he can I imagine he's probably a good basketball player, probably a good in track or baseball, about anything that he wants to be good at. But it's been a lot of fun watching him, and he's made some fantastic catches. But I'm probably more proud of the man that he's becoming. He's a great teammate.
Yeah, Coach, we saw Amante Spivey announced he was going in the portal last night. Did that decision surprise you at all? And also, how do you feel about your depth at running back, behind obviously Rakeem and Treylon?
Well, I like Dominique Johnson. I mean, I do. He was third team before the mutual agreement that Spivey go to the transfer portal. So he was third team there. We've got Buckner, which would be our fourth running back. So obviously we wish we had more. We had Oglesby, but he had the injury, and so I don't feel great about our depth, there, or maybe at a lot of places, on our football team. But that's why you recruit and things of that nature. So I think we'll be fine, though.
Tom?
Sam, you talked a long time about Barry Odom and just as a good sounding board he's been for you. But I wonder this week specifically, he's prepared as a head coach for Jeremy Pruitt coached Tennessee teams the last 2 years. Just his input this week and how valuable it's been for you.
Um, I don't know that it's been any more this week. Understanding what you just spoke about. He's been pretty much dialed in on defense and how to try to stop Tennessee. Obviously we've had a lot of communication because I've been with Jim Chaney for 3 different schools and trying to understand maybe a little bit of what he's trying to do on this play, that play, these plays. But Barry doesn't need a lot of help, but he and I has had a little bit more conversation about Tennessee's offense more than maybe head coaching responsibilities this week.
Otis.
If Rakeem Boyd or Treylon Smith one got hurt, we're going to miss a couple of games or so. Is Treylon Burks someone that might go back there to running back for a few snaps in a game?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
He's as good a runner as we have on the football team.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Ty.
Yeah, Coach, I know Jeremy Pruitt said last night that Jared Garantano is going to be the starting quarterback. Do you expect to see Harrison Bailey at all at any point in the game on Saturday night?
No, I mean, we're prepared for it, but I mean, Garantino's played 39 games. I mean, I wouldn't think in the bye week that anything would change, and obviously it hasn't. I mean, the guy's a good football player. There's more to an offense than just the quarterback. And the guy, I mean, he's a good player. So, no, I mean, obviously if something went wrong for him, they may. I don't know. Coach Pruitt would know that answer, but I'm not surprised at all that he was named the starter for this game.
Bob.
Sam, what are your thought about the offensive line through the first half of the season? It looked like they must have played pretty well the other night. What are your thought of those guys? What are you looking for from the second half?
They're getting better. Coach Davis, a really good football coach. They work extremely hard at practice, and that's the reason they're getting better. We obviously have to get bigger and stronger and things of that nature, but I've been real pleased with their progress in each game. It seems to me like they're just getting a little bit better each game and playing a little bit better together. I think we had a 7-man rotation last week, and we'll probably have at least a 6-man rotation a little bit this week.
Let me know if you've got more in the chat. Nikki.
Yeah, Coach, are you happy with the receivers so far and the amount that, you're able to get reps to guys not named, Burks or Mike Woods?
Yeah, I'm happy with our receivers. I think we had to get the ball more to Davion Warren. We certainly are aware that he only touched the ball one time last week because he's dynamic with the ball in his hands, and I'm happy with the total group of basically we travel 9, and I'm happy with that group as well. So it's hard to get the ball to Rakeem and Hudson and 3 other receivers or 4 receivers. And, it's hard to share the ball, especially when Felipe is rushing the ball, several plays per game. But I'm proud of that group. Trey Knox has had a really good week, and I think we're setting good there at the wide receiver group. But again, if Treylon is open, and we're going to get him the ball, so guess the receivers, the ones that aren't named Woods and Burks, they probably need to get open a little bit faster if they want the ball.
Nate.
Sam, just as far as the offensive line, are you back with Clary at guard and Stromberg, and how's Luke Jones done with the last few games?
I think he played maybe 13 or 17 snaps, one of those two numbers. Last week, he's in our rotation there with Latham and Limmer, and we're expecting to play and expecting to play well.
Tom?
Hey, Sam, unless I just missed this, I didn't see Dalton Wagner on the field Saturday. Could you update his status? And you told Chuck Barrett last night there were maybe a couple guys who might be injured for this game. If you could, lend any more light onto that.
What was the first part? I was laughing so hard when you asked me about injuries. What was the first part?
Dalton Wagner. I didn't see him at Texas A&M.
Dalton was out last week, so he back, and so he's back, and injury wise, I think we're doing okay there.
Coach, you mentioned Oglesby earlier. I assume is he out for the rest of the season? Then also, I know he's a track guy too. Is he still planning on coming and trying to play next year as well?
Oh yeah, I hope so. I mean, he I don't know. Y'all weren't out here, I don't think. I think COVID or whatever, but the guy's a good running back now. I mean, I hope so. I he's on football scholarship, so I hope he is. Hopefully his injury will allow him to be back for track and or spring ball, but he won't be back before then.
Ty?
Sam, you've talked about what's on your jukebox a little bit. Prince, Brett Eldridge, Eddie Van Halen, obviously. Prior to Tennessee, are you listening to a little Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, Dolly Parton? What's on your jukebox this week?
Oh, Chaka Khan was on it just about 5 minutes ago until they told me I had to come and Zoom. A little bit of everything, Right now I'm into the Gap Band, Chaka Khan, who else? Rick James. I'm kind of going that route right now, trying to get ready for the ball game. I'm a country fan. I mean, big time country fan. But y'all don't know I can play the guitar and the piano. So I've been a very, very good. Music has been a huge part of my life, and so I like all kinds of music, different types of music. And right now I'm just trying to get ready to play Tennessee, so I can kind of get a little pumped up of music.
Bob?
Yeah, Sam, I'm gonna have to adjust on the fly there with what you said. How long have you been playing the guitar and the piano, and how good are you?
Better at the guitar than I am the piano. Our parents made all us kids learn to play an instrument. I had to go to piano lessons and all that, man. I know it's awesome, but it was kind of a bummer, honestly, going to piano lessons when you could be out playing baseball, But so I learned that. All my sisters can play the piano. My brother plays the guitar. I play the guitar. I'm a little bit better at the guitar than I am.
But you play.
I played the Welch Prom. Me and my brother-in-law played the Welch Prom back in 82, 83. I think I made like $20 or something. I was the lead guitarist and backup vocalist, by the way.
You play acoustic or electric, or what kind of guitar?
Both. If you can play one, you can play the other one.
I'm not really musically inclined, so I wouldn't know that.
I noticed that by that question right there.
All right. Well, what was that thing you got paid to play? Sorry, I'm not.
Oh, it's not a big deal. My brother-in-law is a good singer, Dale Christensen, and we didn't have to have many songs because one of them was "Stairway to Heaven," and that lasted like 20 minutes. So
You guys played at parties and stuff, or?
No, No. It's just a Welch prom, Welch, Oklahoma prom.
Oh, prom. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were talking about like something like English, like Welsh, like
Oh,
in.
no, Welch, Oklahoma. There's
Okay, I got
a
you.
small town there.
Okay, thanks.
Bob, did you have a real question?
I guess. Well, but the music thing just kind of caught me off guard there. I think people want to know. Um, Tom kind of hit on this with Barry, but this first Arkansas is playing Tennessee for the first time in 5 years, but you played him at Georgia, Barry played him at Mizzou. You got other guys, from Kentucky, Georgia, Mizzou that played him. Do you guys have maybe a pretty good familiarity with Tennessee's personnel and what they want to do just because you guys have played them, the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're in the East. Georgia's in the East, and Mizzou's in the East, and so we know the roster pretty well, and kind of a big rivalry game there, Georgia, Tennessee, and so yeah, we're much familiarity with their program and their depth.
Couple more. Trey Biddy.
I'm good, Kyle. Thank you. Impressed with the musician stuff, though. Very impressed.
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, what did Julius Coates do well at A&M that kind of led you to say that he may have played his best game of the year?
Well, he's more familiar with the scheme. He was in position. He made a few more plays than what he had, but not a whole lot. He was just in position. He held his gap. He understood where he was supposed to go. Some things that maybe we take for granted that, oh well, he's going to know what gap to handle and how to do it physically and technique wise. And I just saw him improve in his technique and physicality, and you could see he's playing a little bit faster. So I think hopefully he'll even just get better each game.
All right, that'll wrap us up. Thanks, Coach.